Welcome to the AI for Oklahoma Classrooms podcast, a production of the Oklahoma State Department of Education's Office of AI and Digital Learning. I'm your host, Dr. Karen Leonard. We're so glad you're here. We started this journey because we believe in the power of Oklahoma teachers. We know the passion you bring to your students, but we also know that Sunday night feeling, the mountain of grading and the 3 different lesson plans you need for Monday morning. AI isn't here to replace the magic you bring to your classroom. It's here to be your ultimate teaching partner, helping you clear the busy work so you can get your weekends back and focus on what you love doing most, teaching. In our last episode, we looked at the secret AI that's already in your pocket, tools like Google's Smart Compose and Canva's Magic Write. Today, we're shifting our focus to our students. Once you're comfortable with AI, the next step is guiding your students through the ethics and practicalities of responsible use. We're moving them from being passive users to becoming active editors. A lot of the conversation around students and AI has been focused on cheating. But if we only talk about what students can't do, we miss the opportunity to teach them what they should do. We can guide our students by teaching them to use AI as an internal intern, a slightly incompetent one that always requires oversight. It's crucial that they identify the stochastic parrot nature of AI, recognizing it repeats patterns without truly understanding. Ultimately, our students' brains are the boss because AI is just a pattern maker that doesn't understand the truth. Therefore, they must always use verification as a skill, taking the agency to verify every single claim, since AI prioritizes sounding right over being right. One of the most powerful ways to move students toward responsibility is to change the AI's role from generator to a tutor. Instead of asking for an answer, we teach students to ask for a process. First, there is the "Don't Tell Me" prompt. Teach students to tell AI, "I'm trying to solve this math problem. Don't give me the answer, but ask me leading questions to help me figure it out myself." Then the next step is to work on building persistence. This turns AI into a 24/7 tutor that supports the student's own thinking rather than replacing it. Finally, we need to teach students to remember the human judgment. Even with a tutor, the students remain the navigators who must decide if the AI's hints are actually helping or are leading them down a hallucination path. To get the best out of this intern, students must learn prompt engineering, which in our classrooms we simply call clear communication. This starts with the idea that context is queen. Just as you provide local Oklahoma context, students must provide specific details to get useful results. Furthermore, responsible use involves the iterative process, meaning students should never settle for the first answer they receive. Instead, they should focus on refining the output by asking the AI to explain concepts differently or to adjust the tone to suit a specific audience. Since AI has no truth filter or moral filter, this is the perfect entry point for ethics. By positioning students as the moral navigators, they take full responsibility for the ethics and impact of any AI-drafted content. This also allows us to focus on the human connection, recognizing that while AI can assist, it cannot feel excitement or truly understand a person's personal struggles. Ultimately, by offloading the drudge work to these tools, we reclaim valuable time for the genuine human collaboration that lies at the heart of education. At the end of every episode, we end with a tomorrow morning test. One specific win you can use tomorrow. So this episode's tomorrow morning test is called the Prompt Makeover Challenge. You need to give your students a bad prompt, like write a paragraph about a historical figure. Then have your students engineer that prompt into a great prompt by adding 3 specific constraints like write a paragraph about Bill Pickett for a 4th grader, focusing on his bulldogging technique and use a humorous tone. They will then see the quality of the intern's work depends entirely on the quality of their own leadership. Thank you for joining me for this episode of AI for Oklahoma Classrooms, brought to you by the OSDE's Office of AI and Digital Learning. If you found today's episode helpful, please share it with a colleague who could use a little more time back in their day. Remember this: AI lightens the load. You bring the heart, the expertise, and make the impact in your classroom. See you next time.